Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold, her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. By Robert Frost. As we return here to our friends Yakim and Jean-Francois, currently under fire by a group of pretty well-armed and armored bandits, including their own version of the infamous CS Samus flying power armor. We find our two heroes pinned down behind whatever cover they can find, which I imagine right now would probably be maybe a couple of small trees, mostly some rocks, but even those are kind of far and few between. Circling overhead like a vulture, the shiny black armor of the Samus power suit and the cackling creature on the inside as it launches grenade after grenade. The explosions and dust still settling out of the air, whereas we last left off, the headhunter known as Grola, the chief of these bandits, that they just barely escaped from the 2-4, I guess, club? I don't know what to call it yet. She lined up a shot, taking the aim action the turn before, and burned a hole straight through Jean-Francois' leg. The laser, as it was previously once belonging to Yakim, now being used against them. We return right into the initiative order, and I'm going to deal new cards right off the bat. So, this does not look good, because as Jean-Francois is an extra, and in Savage Worlds terms, an extra does not get the wounds or the bennies that a wild card does. So, if Jean-Francois becomes shaken again or takes a wound, he may be out entirely. But as we determined the last time, as I asked a fate question, would Yakim go back for this person who barely, not even known for a full 6-7 hours yet, was recently just chasing him for, his mission? What we see is suddenly Yakim turning around, seeing the shot go off. Jean-Francois drops to the ground, clutching his thigh. Fortunately, lasers leave cauterizing wounds, and Yakim, keenly though, is aware of this, which means his ally has a good chance of surviving. So, as we go into the next round of initiative, the 10 for Yakim, a 4 for Jean-Francois, 6 for the bandits, a 5 for Grola, and actually, I'm sorry, that's a 6 for Grola, a 5 for Tolva, the power armored clad flying nuisance right now, and then a 2 for the rest of the bandits. So Yakim gets to go first. He is going to pull back a little bit, seeing that Jean-Francois is dropped. He's going to take 2 actions. His first action is going to be to lay down some suppressing fire. So for this, he's going to make a shooting roll. Now, there's a couple things that I need to touch up on to make sure that I'm keeping the game honest and fair, despite the fact that it's just me here right now. So one of the first ones was, in the last game, Jean-Francois ran over and provided a healing roll to Yakim. But that's not how that skill works. So when somebody takes a wound, the healing roll takes 10 minutes per level of the wounds to start binding them up. It's supposed to be done as kind of like an after-combat action to see if you can patch somebody up. However, right afterwards, Yakim used one of his juicer abilities for the the internal repair system, and he had enough raises that he would have, pretty much taken care of all the wounds, so there's no net benefit there. But one thing that I didn't roll on is that Yakim got hit by a mega damage weapon while not wearing mega damage armor, which actually means with gritty damage, he takes a potentially permanent wound here. So we're going to go right into the Savage Worlds book, and we're going to go to the gritty rules section. This is under the optional rules. 1 second. And for those freaking out because I may have some music going in the background, don't worry, it is marked as royalty free. Now, if somebody sues me for it, we'll find out pretty quickly, won't we? So, gritty damage, page 139. We will, whatever a wild card takes a wound, roll on the injury table and apply the results immediately. So once the wound is healed, the injury is taken care of. So the injury table, let's see, rolling back to being shaken is 2d6. So let's find out how bad Yakeem gets hurt. A 4. Oh, he can no longer use his left or right arm. Oh no. Okay, rolled randomly if not targeted. So we're going to say odds his right hand, or his right arm, evens his left arm. That's a 4. Fortunately, he is right-handed. And as Yakeem, the explosion tears through his armor. You see the welling of blood as the muscles underneath are just shredded down to the bone. One-handed now. Yakeem on his action. He's going to take this multi-action penalty. The first thing he's going to do is lay down some suppressing fire. Let me think about this. His gritty damage, he would have healed the wounds from his internal comp system, so I'm going to say that he's not going to take any penalties from being left or right arm, but if he takes it again, I'm going to say he's going to permanently gain the hindrance of one-armed, as his arm will probably be blown off and disintegrated. Because I realize, of course, that the rules for gritty damage are specifically once the wounds are healed, and he healed them. So we're going to go into his shooting. So this is a D8 plus his wild die. Now, the rule for suppressing fire, for those who may not know it, this is almost effectively a test instead of actually trying to take a shot at hurting anybody. The goal of suppressing fire is that anything that can shoot as rapidly as a revolver and can't require reloading between shots. So, of course, black powder's right out. And to make the attack, the shooter places a medium blast template on the tabletop. Now, most of this is being done in the theater of the mind, though I do have some minis in front of me. It's mostly to do counting and get a kind of relativistic idea of where everything is. But for now, we're going to just assume that he is going to do suppressing fire. He gets his choice. He can pick Grola, he could pick the rest of the bandits, or he could possibly do Tolva. Now, the thing with Tolva is in mega damage armor, which means his kind of like AK-47 style assault rifle that he's using won't actually do any damage. But it may be enough to at least shake him. So, I actually think what he's going to do, he's going to lay down some suppressive fire on Grola and maybe try to catch a couple of her goons in this blast, just to keep their heads down and a chance to get back and grab Jean-Francois and get him out. So, it's going to pretty much burn every bullet he has in this clip. He has one additional, of course it's not a clip, it is a, what is it called? Not a cartridge, whatever. So, multi-action penalty, -2, a D8 and his wild die, and we are going to roll right off the bat to see if he can lay down some suppressive fire. That is a 6 and a 4, -2, so that is a 4, so that is a success. The total to any targets in the template, modifiers that apply to each. I don't think she has. No, she doesn't have dodge, so that doesn't directly apply. Success means the target is distracted. All right. So we're going to say she is distracted, as are, I'm going to say 3 of her goons. So, distracted, of course, means that any actions they take are going to be at -2. So this is enough as he raises his firearm and just begins to spray downrange hail of the surprisingly antiquated kinetic firearms. Just and as the shots ring out, they begin clanging off of some of the trees, some of the fallen logs and the rocks that they are attempting to take some cover behind. and the entire group just ducks for cover. Taking this opportunity, Yakim runs back. His strength is more than enough that he can pick up Jean-Francois, and he is going to pull him behind. We're going to give this total cover for now. He recognizes that Jean-Francois is in kind of a bad situation. However, what it's going to do, we're going to go to an Oracle question. We're at a chaos of 5, and this is going to be 50-50. Is there cover nearby enough that can provide them total cover? So, yeah. They duck behind a small gathering of trees. And of course, as the undoubtable return shots begin making out, Yakim kind of ducks down just behind, starts reloading into the next, it's not a clip. What is it called? Yeah, whatever. And he kind of looks over to Jean-Francois and he says, hey, you were right. I saw you go down. It's bad. And they both kind of look down to the smoldering cloth that surrounds Jean-Francois's thigh. And Jean-Francois just, he shot me. Oh, fuck, that hurts. It's like, the good thing is you're not bleeding out. So just hold tight. Get yourself together. We're going to get through this, but I need you to focus, okay? Yeah, they shot me. All right, so we're going to go over to Corolla, who is next. She's on the 6. She is going to, let's see, it's at distracted leaves at the start of Yakim's turn, but she is going to still try to shoot as she watches him go. She does not have an enhanced rate of fire. This is a D10 to shoot. It's a -2, and because they are behind cover, it's a -10 total. But I think she is a little frustrated that they have not captured these two yet. That's a 1 and a 2. That's not a problem. The shots just go wide as she is distracted, still trying to keep her head down and prevent herself from getting hurt. All right, so as Tolva, the one in the power armor, starts flying around, let's see something here. His grenade launcher still has 5 shots left. Let's see, we're going to roll his pace die, which is D10. Does he get close enough? No, so this is going to be a -4 plus a -8 from the cover, so this is a -12. He needs this to blow up 4 or 5 times before he hits, but he is going to launch... No. He launches a grenade. It hits into some of the trees, but detonates at the tree line, scattering burning leaves and shards and chunks in every direction. Sawdust begins to almost trickle down, causing a thick, heavy smoke. If he continues this, of course, he may start a small, plains fire out here. But for now, our friends are currently safe. The group of bandits are going to open fire. They are going to, you know what, I'm going to do this. They are going to start firing off, rate of fire of 3. I'm going to give them a wild die as they're firing as a group, but since most of them are distracted, this is a -2, and they're -8 from the full cover, so this is -10 total, and not a single die explodes. Fortunately, they all get a chance as they duck behind, and I didn't give Jean-Francois his chance either. I skipped right over him, so we will go kind of right back, and we will see if Jean-Francois comes out of being shaken. He has a D8 in spirit, not a wild card, so he just rolls a straight D8. Oh, and he got a 6. Jean-Francois shakes his head. He goes, this is quite a predicament. Thank you for getting me out of there. I thought you may not come back for me. And Yakim's like, don't get used to this. I think what Jean-Francois is going to do, he is going to, you know what? Something he hasn't done enough of. He is going to try to support Yakim. And I'm going to do it with a persuasion check. Now, if I continue trying to do this, it's going to start reducing the benefits he gets. But Jean-Francois has a D10 of persuasion, and it's a shame not to be using that. So we're going to roll. Jean-Francois just, hey, no, I mean this. This means a lot. But he rolls a 2, so Yakim leans out around the some of these trees, just kind of trying to get a line of sight. And he turns back to Jean-Francois. He's like, look, man, I don't fucking need this right now. We got to get out of here alive. All right? It's like, just keep your head down. Don't get shot again. Yeah, you are terrible at cheerleading. So we're going to go into the next round. That is a 6 for Yakim, a queen for Jean-Francois, a 2 for Grola, a king for Tolva, and the 7 for the bandits. We have not found the Joker yet in a while, so it's going to be coming up soon, and that might change the entire course of this fight. Now, we're going to go right over to Tolva and the power armor. He's down to 4 shots. He's going to take another one. This is, again, a -10. Oh, he rolled a 1. But it's not a critical failure, so he takes another shot. Some poor squirrel, just trying to get out of the way, is just obliterated, as is an entire line of the trees. He's beginning to whittle down how big the forest is that they're hiding in. And as our 2 compatriots here just duck, they start getting showered by splinters and small pieces of wood. We go over to Jean-Francois. You know what? Let's see here. In his gear, he is currently wearing... What kind of armor is he wearing? I think it's Plastic Man armor, which does not have a radio built in, so he's not going to be able to radio. So instead, he's going to bark out, and he's going to try to taunt the... Well, he's got some fun edges. So he's going to try to taunt Grola, and see if you can kind of get her ire a little bit. So he's got a D10 in taunt. And this is going to be heads up against her spirit, which is a D6. So he rolls a 5. Grola rolls a 5 as well, so nothing changes. Jean-Francois just starts barking out. He goes, "Hey, what are you even? You are a bunch of jackals? It seems like a stereotype that you are just scavenging for things." And I'm sure that the only retort that he's going to get back is probably some laser fire. So now we go over to the big group. They are no longer... Well, it goes until Yakim's next turn. So I'm actually going to say that they still are -2 plus -8. One of the dice explodes. That is a 10 total, -10, so that's still a 0. More of the Hellstorm of bullets seem to respond as Jean-Francois starts taunting around the tree line, and more of it starts causing shrapnel to go in all directions. It feels like they're starting to get a little close. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say some of them start flanking, and I may need to treat them as 2 distinct groups going forward. So they begin to split up in half. All right, so now we go over to... Now it's Yakim. Yakim's going to see one group coming around the corner, and he is going to... You know what? He is going to go on hold. I'm gonna put him on hold. Kind of looks up and he's like, "All right, I have an idea, and I don't fucking like this at all, Jean-Francois." And he hands him the assault rifle. He goes, "Whatever you do, don't let them shoot me, all right?" Jean-Francois is like, "I don't even know what the fuck to do with this." He's point and click interface, aim it down range, just don't shoot me in the back. And so he goes on hold. So that puts us down to Grola. Now he is still behind cover, and he is waiting his turn out. She is no longer distracted, and neither is the crew, because Yakim's turn has come and gone. So she is going to take a shot, and she's going to try to get Yakim. So her shooting is a D10. This is at a -8 because of the cover. 4 and a 5 do not hit, but it does burn a serious hole in one of the trees, not too terribly far away. Yakim just goes, "Fuck, this is not good." All right. Now we're going to deal our next round. The 2, but the good thing is Yakim has quick, which means he automatically draws the 8. Jean-Francois gets the 9. Grola gets the 3. Tolva gets the queen, and the grunts get the 4. Okay, so we go over to Tolva. Tolva starts cruising in. I'm going to roll his pace die to see how close he gets. Oh, this is going to be it. This might be the money shot here. So, Yakeem is going to try to interrupt Tolva's turn as he comes in. He sees this thing begin to swoop in, and as it gets close enough, he pulls from his back one of the grenades, pushes down on the button. So now this is a heads up agility check to see which one of them might be faster. The good news is Yakeem's got a D12, and Tolva is a D6 without the wild die. So let's see who's faster. Yeah, Yakeem gets a 7. This is going to be an athletics check, which he has a D8. He reaches out, so this is going to be at long range for a grenade throw. So he needs to, let's think about this. Long range is -4. So he has a -4 to hit this nimble thing, so it's really a -5. With a D8, we'll see how well this goes. He lines up and throws a 3 and a 5. That's not going to be enough. When I say it's with a -5, yeah, the burn die is not going to be enough, but he throws one of his grenades. It arcs high and lands low, and with a green cloud just boom, detonates. And a few seconds later, the heavy power arm comes flying through. Yakeem gets back down into the cover, and as Tolva takes his turn, he takes a shot. That's not enough. He returns fire as the explosions begin to rain, and then the very fast power armor flits past. Yakeem just, fuck. Missed. All right. Okay, so he is no longer on hold. All right, so that was Tolva's turn. It is now Jean-Francois, and he's going to be the dutiful soldier, and he's going to fire a 3-round burst downrange, rate of fire -2. He's got D6 in shooting. We'll find out in just a second. Yep, so 3d6, no wild die. Nothing explodes. He rolled 2 1s. Fortunately, neither one of them rolled an additional one, so they are not critical failures. Just as he begins to shoot. We go now to its actual Yakeem's turn. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm just going to let him roll with it, but he's going to get back behind cover. He's going to reach into his pouch, grab another one of these. Just, all right, he's too far away. And he's going to go back on hold again. Now we get down to the 4. The troops, I'm actually going to divide them in half here. One group, let's see, we have 3 are going to make their shots. -8 plus the... All right, let's see. So it's a -10 total to hit them. They rolled 2 exploding dice. So they've got 6. Oh, 12, that's a 2. Oh, one of them hits. Out of all this hailfire of bullets begin flying through, in a moment where he just peers around the corner trying to get an eye on the power armor, one of the bullets rings out, catches Yakeem in the chest. 16, 19, 25. Ooh, that's a hit with 2 raises. Okay. Now Yakeem's going to spend a Benny, and he is going to try to soak it with a vigor of a D8. He's got to get 2 raises to soak and not take any wounds. Oh, sweet. 8, 14. He does it. He rolled a 14 on a soak check. The bullet grazes, and as it comes in, it hits his armor. He rolls with it, as the juicer plate armor is designed for their style of fighting. The impact sends him sprawling just a little bit, but he crouches down on his knee and looks up and just kind of gives a stink eye to one of these predators that are circling around. The other group comes up the other side, and they're going to try to fire down towards Jean-Francois. One of them explodes, but it's not enough. As the shots begin to come in as a V pattern, Yakeem just kind of goes, fuck. All right, they're starting to flank us. We may have to take some of them out. Go for the ones on the south. There seem to be more. You weaken their flank, they tend to fall back. Jean-Francois just looks at him and is like, what the fuck do you think I'm trying to do? We go now to Corolla. She's going to take her shot. Lines up. Actually, she's going to take the aim action this turn. Knowing, of course, that the power of this rifle is pretty formidable when she can actually get a shot off. But recognizing that they're in cover, one of the things she might be able to do, of course, she's going to aim, but she might go on hold. And that might give her... Well, no, that's not true. So you can't go on hold and aim. It's one or the other. So she's just still going to aim, and this will give her a +2 to the next shot. So here we go. Next round of combat. The 8 for Yakim, the 4 for Jean-Francois, the 5 for Grola, oh, the Joker for Tolva, and a 10 for the Grunts. So we are going to give Tolva in his power suit a Benny, and he and his side, actually, it's everybody on that side, so now let's see here. Grola now has 4 bennies, and the Grunts have 1. That's not good. In addition, Tolva gets to go whenever he wants, and he gets a +2 to interrupt. So we'll see about this. Tolva, though, speeding around, he comes back. His pace die, 9. Yeah, he gets back into range. And now it's going to be another heads-up agility check to see which one's going to be faster. But this time, Tolva has an advantage. As it comes screeching around. Oh no. Yep, Tolva gets to go first. Yeah, I'm not going to spend a Benny on it. Tolva gets to go first, and he gets a +2 on a shooting check. It's a 4, it's a 6. It's not enough, though. The explosion still detonates. And now Yakim gets to try to get off a shot, or gets to get a throw. And this is a D8, -5. Come on, give me some explosions. A 1 and a 3. Fuck. Now, second grenade goes off. Another green burst as the plasma detonates, leaving a after image in all of their eyesights for a second as it goes away. And Tolva just goes screeching off, the wings beginning to bank around for another pass. Alright, so he's no longer on hold. Alright, so now we go to the Grunts. The 2 sections coming around again. Start taking their shots of Yakim. No explosions, so with a -8, nothing hits. Second group. No, 1 explosion. That's an 11, -8 is 3. That's still not quite enough. But you know what? They're a bunch of mooks, but they're a bunch of mooks with a Benny. I'm going to roll again. Alright. 1 exploding die. That's an 11. Still not enough. As they begin to fire downwind, or downrange, the shots begin echoing, and they begin to pace up a little bit closer, using these chances slight escalations to get closer and closer, keeping their heads down and knowing that their quarry's not going to go and turn and run. Corolla turns. She gets her aim on this turn with a shooting of a D10, and her D6, it's +2, so it offsets for a -6 in the roll. It's a 4 and a 3. She's got bennies to spare. She's going to burn one now. A 3 and the 6. 6 explodes for 12. Oh no, an 18. Oh no, 24. Oh no, a 30. Yeah, I'm going to say she hits with a raise. I think that's fair. That was quite a bit. So it's 4d6 plus an additional d6 on the shot with a raise, and she is going after the juicer. Okay. Let's see here. That is 5, 10, 13 damage total, AP 3. That brings the 17 down to a 14. That's not enough. The shot echoes in, and again, he tries to roll with it, but lasers are incredibly difficult to dodge. The shot sketches a line across his chest. Another thin, just kind of like battle wound against this armor. You know what? Actually, like I said, she's got bennies to spare, and there's no reason not to spend them. So we're going to reroll her damage because she's a badass. She's the boss for a reason, and I can't go easy on my heroes just because I want them to win. I need to make sure that this is a fair fought fight. All right, so that is 1 explosion. So that is 10, 15. Oh no, 21. 22, 23. Yeah, that is a hit with a raise. He's going to take a wound unless he can soak this, and of course he's going to spend a Benny to do it. All right, and his vigor is a D8. Gonna have to start putting some advances into that. Oh no, a 1 and a 2. That's not enough. He takes a wound. As he lines up, he steps out around the corner, grenade in the hand, and suddenly he turns around and there is a dime-sized hole in his shoulder. He clutches his arm, just fuck, and ducks back behind the cover. He's like, fuck, oh, that hurts. He goes, yeah, yes it does. How bad is it? It's like, just give me a second. I'll take care of it. All right, so it is now Jean-Francois's turn. Last but not least, he takes his rate of fire of 3 downrange, trying to get the larger of the two groups. 2 explode. Nicely done. So this is with -2. Those are hits. Oh. Okay, that's enough explosions. Yeah. So he gets 2 hits out of these 3 shots coming down range. So these are 2d6 plus 1. His first shot is with the raise. 3d6 plus 1. Nice. Oh, you bona fide killer. Yeah, they don't have any. So he shoots 1, just a spray of blood hits against the back of a tree. The other 2 coming up behind. Oh, shit. As the group is cut in half, 2 of them just suddenly drop what they're doing, duck down, trying to get behind the tree line as quick as they can, as Jean-Francois just mowed 2 of them down. He looks up, he's I got him, I got some. Yakim's like, oh, okay, good, man, that's fucking great. So, all right, now we get to shuffle again as the Jokers come out. Giving our heroes a chance to get it this time, but holy shit. That did not turn out well. Yakim is probably going to have to spend at least his first action using his internal healing system, because it's already bad enough doing a -5, a -6 on an athletics check while trying to hit a nimble power armor. That's not easy. Now, if this guy would get a little bit closer, but Yakim can't take that chance. He sees his power armor. He knows what it's capable of. And just the grenade launcher alone is pretty much a big toy, but built into its chest are 2 anti-personnel lasers. Those things cut him in half in a heartbeat with no problem. And it's fortunate that, of course, that these grenades have been bouncing off the trees and they've been keeping some cover, but still, a -6 to hit at this range is tough. All right, so here we go. Off the top of the initiative again. A queen for Yakim, a 10 for Jean-Francois, a 2 for Grola, the Joker again for Tolva, and it's the different Joker, and the ace for the grunts. So, all right, you lucky little bastard up there. Okay, 1 and 1. Okay. Wounded as he is, Yakim did not go on hold, which is good because he's going to need the healing. But our Tolva comes screeching around again. This is -8. He's going to try to hit Yakim. So -8. He's going to spend a Benny because he may not last the entire, oh, that's 1. He's going to spend another Benny. Actually, let's see if he can even spend it. Yeah, he can spend it. 5. Nope, that's not enough. The another explosion ricochets into the woods, this time further into the tree line. Roots and earth go splattering in all directions. Some of it begins to splatter across Yakim, and it kind of causes a diagonal raindrops of mud on his face. He turns, he's like, I've got to get that guy out of the sky. Jean-Francois kind of leaning around, firing off, a couple more rounds downwind, and I just... that's your problem. I'm taking care of these little, fucking jackals. Speaking of which, the 2 that are coming up around the corner, I'm going to say with only 2 of them, they don't get their wild die anymore. So they're both going to take individual round rate of fire 3 shots. One of them explodes, but it's not enough. The other guy's going to fire. No. A little bit shaken by the deadly return fire that came from Jean-Francois, realizing, of course, that they may be a little outgunned or at least outskilled. And there's a ripple of fear that kind of occurs through them. Maybe they're facing off against 2 juicers. Yeah, so maybe we'll see if that comes up again. That's an interesting idea. The other group, though, still with 3 strong, firing off against Yakim. That explodes. It's a 9, so no, it's not enough, though, but the shot's still causing enough to keep their heads down and behind cover, making it difficult for them to maneuver at all. They can't get out from behind here, and the vulture is circling around. We now go over to Yakim. Let's see. He is going to take his internal repair. So we're going to start off with a vigor check, his first action. This might actually be his only action this turn. So it's a +2. Yeah, so it's a 6. So he heals 1 wound, which is fortunate because he's going to need that arm to really try to get these things towards him. He's only got 2 grenades left. But that is his action in his turn, and he only has 1 charge left in his internal repair system. We go over to Jean-Francois, looks downwind, sees these 2. He's going to take his rate of fire 3 shots, -2. 1 explodes. Oh, hit with a raise. Let's see, 2d6 + 1. Oh, you stone cold killer. Jean-Francois is going to have to start putting some notches on this weapon. He takes another one out. The last one, though, begins to slink back. Whipped dog with its tail between its legs. Now we're going to go over to Grola. Let's see here. She does not have a battle skill, which I would use right now to give her some tactical ideas, but she seems headstrong. She's going to try to line up and take a shot against Yakim. She was aiming the last turn, so this is now a D10. And she's going to reduce the cover by 2. So I think that gives her -6 on this roll. So that's an 8, so that's a 2. She's got bennies to spare. It's an 8 -6. Nope. You know what? I'm going to still burn the last. I'm going to burn another benny. 7. Nope. No. She's going to keep 1 benny in reserve. She's a little bloodthirsty here, but she's not so thirsty that she's trying to go and put herself in mortal danger to get these 2. All right, so let's see. That puts her, and now we're shuffling again because the Joker came out. All right. Yeah, this is a tough fight. This is not a fair fight at all. If it wasn't for Jean-Francois getting a couple of really amazing shots off, we could have been looking at pretty much the end right off the bat. But, these creatures are pretty interesting. Kind of a jackal bandit coming after to try to loot what they can. And, of course, they're semi-murderous. Not even semi. She's directly murderous leader. She's vicious. Never underestimate wildcard enemies. All right, here we go. Start of the round with Yakim. 2, so he gets another one. Queen, excellent. Jean-Francois gets a 2, no help there. The ace for Grola. The 9 for Tolva, and the 5 for the grunts. So we go right over to Grola, and she is actually going to go on hold. She saw a little bit of what Yakim's doing. She's going to wait for him to come out. And then if she can get a clean shot off of him while he's out of cover, she's going to take it. All right, so we go over to Yakim. He is going to go on hold as well. We're going to have a multi-way round there, and that's going to be interesting. That leaves us over to Tolva in the power armor. He cruises in, dangerously close, trying to line up a shot. So it's going to be a D12 for Yakim. He rolled a 5 and a 3. A D10 for Grola. She rolled a 3 and a 3, and a D6 for Tolva. He rolled a 3, so Yakeem definitely gets to go first. And then the other 2 are going to be able to go. So Yakeem lines up, pulls another one of these grenades out of his pack, looks at it, kind of checks in his hand. All right. Leaps out. So this is a -5. Come on, give me something good. -5. Roll a 5. Do I use the burn die yet? Yeah, fuck it. He's got to. He's going to be down to his last grenade, and these grenades are the only things that can actually hurt this thing. So he's got to roll a 5 or a 6 on his burn die to hit. Or the unfortunate truth is, if he rolls a 1, then it counts as a 6, but his burn count's going to go down again as he just slowly begins to die. All right, let's see how well he does.